Okay. This is going to be so shaky.
Huh? Just sit down and rest.
As it's live when we're talking, it picks up everything we say.
She just
Stop. Why do I can't get out? Got anybody chiming in yet, Patty?
We have a few.
There we go. All right. I think we're good. It's going to be behind what we see.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome everybody to the GLAD Science Lab. I'm the GLAD scientist. I'm also Pastor Jody, but enough of that because today we're in the lab and we're going on Facebook Live so we can share some fun together, talk a little bit about how much God loves us and He's with us, and also give us something to do because I know a lot of us are bored sitting around our houses these days. I know there's things to do, but every now and then we're trying to figure out what can we do with our time. So I'm glad we're here to be together and welcome anybody who's first time on our Facebook Live at our Wildare site. We are glad you're here. Hello, all the kids out there. We're going to do some science, and in a little bit you can see what we're doing, and then you can learn how to maybe do some of these things at home with your family and friends, your brothers and sisters, with things you probably have already in your cabinets, in your kitchen, in your bathrooms. So we're glad you're here. Our goal today is for you to know that God is with you and He loves you, and no matter what we face, no matter how afraid we are, how upset we are with life or things, God is with us. And He's always with us, no matter if you're at school, at home, or in a fake science lab. So we're here to also have some fun with science and teach about God with the science. So we're glad you're here. But today, we're going to have fun, but I'm going to need your help, and I'm going to need some help from others. With me over here is the mad scientist. I'm the glad scientist, but he's mad. So he's the mad scientist. And our goal today is to make him glad too, because we need more glad scientists in the world sharing God's love. So can you help me help make the mad scientist glad today? That's the question. Hopefully you can help us make the mad scientist glad. And I just have a question. Mad scientist, why are you always so mad?
I'm mad because I miss school. I'm mad because I'm bored. I'm mad because I miss my friends, and I'm mad because I'm a little bit worried.
So you miss school. There's no school right now. You're bored. Well, we can probably take care of some of that. You're also missing your friends. And like me, you are a little bit maybe worried about what's going on in the world. And that's a lot of reasons to be mad. So I understand. I understand why you're mad. And some of us are not just mad. We can be lonely. We are bored and worried sometimes. So it's okay to have these feelings. We all have these feelings sometimes, and that's okay. And we're going to learn how to kind of deal with those feelings while we're in the lab here. And it's okay to tell somebody how you're feeling. Share what's on your heart. You can tell your mom, your dad, your grandparents, tell your friends, your brothers and sisters. You can tell your teachers if you're doing some online stuff with them. You can tell your pastor. You can tell your church friends. You can tell others how you feel. And it's good to let those feelings out. And it's really okay to tell God. So I want you to know that when I feel glad, sad, mad, or any of these feelings, I know that God is with me and He knows my feelings. He made us. He cares about you and me. And also our friends care about us. So we have them there for us. In the Bible, it says this, God's Word, it says that in 1 Peter that we can cast or we can throw all of our cares upon Him. And He will be with us. And He cares for us. He hears us and He helps us. And we can tell others too. And we need our friends. So, hey, how's it going? Hey, good to meet you. This is Sharky Shark, everybody. Say hello to Sharky Shark. He decided to pop into lab today too. He obviously doesn't have to practice much social distancing because he's a shark. So I think he's kind of immune to all of that. But we are glad you're here. So Sharky Shark's going to help the mad scientist and me have some fun together, all right? You up for that, Sharky Shark? Mm-hmm. All right, why don't you stick with us, because we're going to do a couple science projects now. And we know that God is going to be with us today, and He's going to help us to learn how we can enjoy each other's company, but also trust in Him. So let's try something that I'm really sad about. Matt, I'm not the sad scientist today. He's out there, hello sad scientist. But sometimes I'm sad. And one reason I'm sad is that we didn't have any winter. I like winter a little bit. Did you guys miss snow? I missed it. So we're going to try to make some snow here today. Let's see what we can do. I'm just going to take some of this Insta Snow that I got at Steve Spangler Science. It makes science fun. So we're going to take some of that, and we're going to put some snow here into this cup. All right. All right, let's see if we got snow.
What are you doing?
What?
Be careful, I'm still mad.
Wait a second. It's snow. How could you be mad with snow? Sharky Shark likes snow, right? Sharky Shark? Sharky Shark doesn't talk, but he nodded, so I think you like it, right? So yeah, we have snow. We don't have to worry that winter's gone. Are you okay, well, obviously this isn't helping the mad scientist too much, but I liked it, and I'm still glad. So that's really important as well. So we're going to go on, and we're going to try to figure out some other ways to help the mad scientist. And Sharky Shark, you're doing a good job. You're just hanging out with us. But we're going to try to have him help us out a little bit here. So I want to know who is watching out there. If you can say hello to us online, we want to see who we got out here. We got a few people watching. We got Brindley and Kensington. Hello, guys. We have Braden and Addison. Hello you. We have Brent, Luke, Catherine. We got some others that I'm just now pulling up. And we'll keep saying, but we're glad you're here. Well, we're going to dive into some more science. And one thing I wanted to do is have some fun with things I had at home. And one thing we have a lot of, thanks to some of our church family, we have a lot of eggs. So we thought we'd do some science with eggs. And since you don't have any hands, you can't help us. But we're going to come over here. And you want to come around, mad scientist. We have 2 eggs that I soaked in vinegar. So if you have eggs in vinegar, they each soaked overnight. And we each have an egg here. So I'm going to pick up our eggs and shake them off a little bit. I have this kind of brownish orange egg here. And you have a more of an off-white egg. And so what we're going to do is we are going to see which one bounces the highest. Both of these are farm-raised eggs that we got locally. They weren't from the store. And we're going to see which one bounces the highest. All right, hopefully this helps the mad scientist be a little more glad, even though he now smells like vinegar. All right, it's about right here. At the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey, mine wins because his broke. Oh my goodness, what happened to your poor? I wonder if that means that the darker eggs are a stronger egg. I wonder. If any farmers are out there, you can let us know. There we go. A little higher, it broke as well. But the good thing is now we have lunch. Does that make you a little more glad?
A little bit.
All right, we have our lunch ready to go. And we want to give thanks to our camera lady, Miss Patty. Thank you for helping, Miss Patty. All right, let's come back over. Let's do a little bit more science. I need to clean up a little bit too. There are some paper towels. Trust me, doing science is messy. So clean up after yourself. Make mom and dad happy. Also, your house may smell like vinegar afterwards. So we're going to keep moving on. I want to see if anybody else is tuning in with us here. We do have my sister Paula's watching. Hello. It's good to see you, Paula. Thanks for joining us. All right, way down in Cincinnati, Ohio. We are going to do some more science, but first of all, I can't help but notice the mad scientist. He's wearing a mask. So, what's up? What's up with the mask? Why? Not just you, but a lot of people are wearing masks, right, Sharky? I mean, there's a lot of people with masks on. Why are you wearing a mask?
I'm practicing social distancing.
What?
I'm practicing social distancing.
It's hard to hear through that mask.
And I don't want to catch your germs.
So the mad scientist is afraid of my germs because we're not 6 feet apart. So it's good that you do have a mask on, I guess. Why else are you wearing that mask? Any other reasons?
I'm mad because people are getting sick, and I don't want to. And I don't want my friends or family to get sick either.
So he's mad because people are getting sick. He doesn't want to get sick. He doesn't want you to get sick. So good thing on Facebook Live, you can't make any of them, you spread your germs to them, but you are kind of close to me. So I appreciate that mask. And it's smart to think about others, especially in times like these where there are some people who are sick. So we want to help others. So masks, distancing, wearing gloves, that's a way to help to keep germs off of each other. And a big thing is washing your hands a lot. That really does help, and it helps others. And the most important thing we can do is pray to ask God for help. We can ask for God's help with us and others, and we can cast our cares on Him because He cares for us. Remember our 1 Peter verse. You know, a lot of people have been wearing masks before the coronavirus.
Really?
Yes.
I know doctors and nurses wear them to protect people in the hospital.
Yeah, but not just then. People have been wearing masks for a lot of other reasons too. One reason is to keep germs, viruses, and bacteria from getting in and out, or getting out of our bodies or into our bodies through our nose and mouth. Because our nose and mouth, we can breathe in and we can take in that way those germs, those bacteria. But more than that, sometimes people just wear them to hide their face. They don't want to be seen or recognized by other people. So they can kind of put their mask on so they're not seen or noticed, which is interesting. That's some real social distancing right there. But also, some people wear them around the world to keep their face warm. Did you know that? That could keep your face a little bit warm. Some people want to protect from sunburn because they're out in the sun a lot. And some people even wear their masks for style. So I'm going to help the mad scientist with a little bit of style on his mask. So I thought, no, hey, it's all right. You got a mask on. We're social distanced. Okay? So I'm going to do some style. Okay? Right there. I'm going to make a note that that is your nose. Okay? Right here. I'm going to draw a mouth. And I'm going to draw chin-ups. I'm going to draw a tongue sticking out of your mouth. Okay? And over here I'm going to put a tattoo of a smiley face. So see, you got style. This mask look pretty good. What do you think? Does that make you more glad? Are you still mad?
A little bit.
A little bit? That helped? Oh, that's awesome. Well, he's still a little mad, so let's do some science to help him out, okay? As we do that, let me check in here. I got Brian Mearson. Hello. Hello to the Mearson family. And let's see if there's anybody else here with us. We got Ellie watching. That is amazing. And we currently have 17 people online, so thank you for watching and staying in tune. I'm going to move this out of the way now because now we're going to get real with the science. All right, we're going to get real, Sharky Shark. All right, Sharky Shark, you ready for this? You ready? Can I get a thumbs up? Is that a thumb? I think Sharky Shark has a thumb. I didn't know sharks had thumb. Look, the mad scientist smiled. We're getting somewhere. All right, that's awesome. All right, let's look here. We got a couple more science projects we want to do with you. One that I would like to try out is something that's a classic. And I want to see how good our yeast is from home. And we are going to do a big science project here. Some of our favorite science is what's called elephant toothpaste. Why is it called elephant toothpaste? Because it's big toothpaste, all right? So we're going to try that now. But we need to add a few things to this bottle, this empty bottle. And you kind of need a narrow filter so it kind of allows the pressure for the foam to come out the top there. I'm going to need a color to make our elephant toothpaste. And can somebody respond with the color online? And Patty, can you let me know if anyone gives a color? We've got yellow, green, red, or blue. No color responses? All right, maybe we're lagging behind a little bit. So we're going to see if a color pops up. And if it is not, we're going to go with one of my favorite colors. So let's see. Anybody yet? We're a few seconds behind. That's okay. Let us try to do a color to match Sharky Shark. What do you think? That work? That sound good, Sharky Shark? All right. We're going to put some blue coloring in here. We're going to start, though, by
we have a yellow.
Someone said yellow? Why don't we do a little yellow and blue and see if it turns out green? Huh?
We have a red, too.
And red. We'll do yellow and red to make orange. All right, let's see what colors we have. All right. We are going to take this bottle, and first of all, we're going to put some hydrogen peroxide solution in there. So if I can get that from you, Mad Scientist. This is regular hydrogen peroxide, which is 3% from your local store. But I think we have some stronger stuff from the hair salon place. This is 40 volume, which is a stronger hydrogen peroxide, more than the 6 to 8% range. So why don't we try that? We're going to need about a half cup of that. So let me pour that in here. Would you set that aside, sir? A little extra. Set that over there. Okay. Now we're going to need to take some of that yeast over there. It's in the pack. Can you tear one of those packs off for me there? Okay. All right, and as you work to open that, we are also going to add, that's 3 packs, so you can just open one of them there. We're also going to add to this peroxide some dish soap, and everyone knows the Glad Scientist loves some dish soap. We can do a lot of science with that. So we're going to put a bunch of dish soap into here to make it really bubbly and soapy, okay? Dawn is the best to use. So I recommend that, and we'll mix that in with the peroxide. So we can already see it starting to turn blue like Sharky Shark. And then let us add some of that food coloring. Since we got the blue in there, we got yellow and red suggested. So we'll do some red. We'll do some yellow. Is that having a hard time opening? Mm-hmm. You want to run to my office and get a pair of scissors off my desk? Okay, we'll get this mixed in here. They're right in the pencil holder, okay? So that red and yellow has made really an ugly color. It almost looks like a cream soda in there. But that is the colors you chose, so that's what we're going to go with. All right. Now that we have our mixture, the only thing left to do is add some of the yeast, which we are going to mix in warm water to kind of break down that powder. This is yeast. The reason we use that is it's an agent that helps things rise, helps things expand. Just like you use yeast in bread to make your bread rise. So we're going to put this yeast in the warm water. Okay. Let me stir it up. It smells like baby food. You smell that over there? You got good senses, right? that up. We'll pour it in and see if we can get some sort of reaction here. And if not, we will try again. Here we go. Okay, mix it around in there. All right, here we go. What's going to happen with this ugly colored? All right, look at that. Good job on helping me, guys. This really worked well, but the colors that came out of here with the yellow, with the red, and with the dish soap turned into like this tan color. I've never seen that one before. Have you seen that before? That's pretty cool though. One thing this reminds me of is that we have a lot of joy in our hearts from what God has done for us. And we know a lot about God and His love for us. If you've been coming to Sunday school, or you've been coming with your family, or reading your Bible. But that joy that God gives us, we can't keep it in. We got to let it out because it wants to overflow. And we can share joy in a world that's really sad right now and really mad. So we encourage you to share the joy of God with others. All right. One thing I wanted to show you about this mask is it's good for protecting the barrier for viruses, but it works in a way that I thought maybe you all would want to know a little bit more about. So we can see here what I've done is I got a coffee filter, which is sort of like this mask. It filters things out when you're making coffee, like the water and the coffee grinds. So if I was to put the filter in here, and I wanted to pour something through this hole into here. I put a few, obviously if I put some stones into the filter, it's not coming through the filter, is it? They're too big. They don't fit. So we can't get those stones through there. But if I put some water through there, you can see that the water filters right through the filter. So the water gets through the filter, but the rocks didn't. This mask allows you to breathe oxygen in and out, but it doesn't allow a lot of the germs and bacteria in and out. So that's kind of like how that filter works. But one thing interesting about these filters is sometimes they don't always work perfectly. Like I just put a new filter in there. So maybe your parents at home, or maybe somebody you know, likes to have some coffee. So if you put a little bit of coffee in here, and don't worry church, I'm using the decaf, which nobody ever drinks around here. So it's the decaf. And if you took some hot water and you would pour that into the filter, what you will start to see is that though the coffee grinds don't go through, the water with some of the product of the grind is able to get through, and that's how it's able to flavor. Some of the flavors, some of the vitamins, some of the things that are in the coffee bean are able to get through. So you see there that sometimes these masks don't stop everything. Another thing with these masks too that you'll notice is that when you put them on, sometimes even though it's covering your face, there's a lot of space on the sides that things could get in. So they're not perfect. But I would just suggest in this time, the most important thing I would suggest is that you just wash your hands with warm water and soap several times a day. And that's one of the best things you can do to kind of keep healthy during this time and help others be healthy. I got a couple more science projects for you, and then we're going to kind of wrap up. One here that is going to be a total experiment because I've never tried it before. I saw it on something called TikTok. Have you ever heard of TikTok, Mad Scientist? Never heard of TikTok? Then why is it an app on your phone?
I think think I just saw it on the App Store with this.
So you just got it, but you don't make any TikToks? Sharky Shark, do you make any TikToks? We should make a Sharky Shark TikTok. Some of you aren't on TikTok, but it's just a thing on the internet that you can, that there's a lot of videos there. Sometimes I see science experiments there. So this one I wanted to try. I'm going to ask your help because it's going to be messy. Okay, so mad scientist, I want you to have this towel ready for me. I'm going to take this bottle of water, which has foam beads in it. The foam beads all rose to the top because they are lighter than the H2O. And so they rose to the top. So we're going to pour this, we're going to actually flip this in and see if these beads, once we make a continual stream of water between the two bottles, we're going to see if these will rise up into the other bottle and sort of make like a fountain of beads. So we're going to give that a try. All right, Sharky Shark, if things get really wet in here, it's okay because you can swim. And as a matter of fact, I don't know how you're surviving without water right now, but it's a miracle. That's pretty awesome. So we are glad that you're here despite that. So what we're going to do is we're going to dump this on top. There's going to be some spilling, as you see. And don't worry, I will clean up later. We're going to dump this on top and see what happens to the beads. If it doesn't work, then we can't trust TikTok science. All right, let's do this. There we go. I don't know if you noticed, but we are getting the beads flowing. I think it works.
Yeah.
This is pretty awesome. Sharky Shark just wants some of this water. But I love what we're able to do with this. It's kind of messy. And these foam beads I found at Walmart, they're used to put into things like slime to give it texture. They all went up and look. Now I wonder what would happen. Should I do it again?
Sure.
Here we go. This is going to be so messy. I'm so sorry. There they go again. All right, I love that. There are ways you can find color beads too, and that's really cool to use as well. And we could keep doing this back and forth all day and all night, but I wanted to do one or two more things with you before we go. But this is very, very cool indeed. All right, thank you. TikTok science coming through for us. All right. One other thing I wanted to show you here at the front of the table is I decided to go get a bottle of carbonated water. This one's flavored, that's all I can find. So we're going to pour that in here. This is some of the things that you can do at home. I wanted to show you these just in case you have some of these products at home. Carbonated water, that's anything fizzy. A Sprite would work. This is just a sparkling beverage, or you can use just plain carbonated water. And then if you want to take some raisins and put them in there, you can do with the raisins is they will settle on the bottom, but what is going to happen is some of these carbonated bubbles are going to attach to the raisin and allow them to float to the top. You can get an angle in here too. You can start to see them start to rise and fall. And they will just start to bounce back and forth in there like they're dancing. It's the dancing raisins. And you could sit and watch this for quite a while and just enjoy their little dance show for you. So raisins and sparkling water, carbonated water, is a wonderful thing to do a little bit of science with. So that's something we can do. Sharky Shark, you can have some of that water if you like. And one other thing I want to offer, we're not going to do now, but if you have some glue, and you know what? Let's do it, because I haven't made enough messes around here. And I got all the time in the world to clean up the church. Let's do this, all right? We're going to take this pan here. And if you can help me, if you can pour in about half of the glue. I don't know, there's a seal on the top. You might take that off. All right. Okay, we're going to dump some of that glue.
Say about half here.
Yeah, that works. Okay. And I'm going to pour some starch that you can get like in the laundry area. This kind of helps with work doing your, like basically actually getting wrinkles out. Now there's some other things that the starch does. But I'm a scientist. I'm not a launderer. All right, so let's try this here. We're going to pour not just that glue in there, but we're going to also mix in a little bit of water. Okay, and then we are going to add about a half cup of liquid starch. Okay, and now we got to figure out a color to make our slime. So how about, since we didn't use green, we'll make some green slime. How does that work? Green slime, does that sound good for you? Okay, and I'm going to have the mad scientist maybe can become a little more glad by mixing up our slime for us with his hands. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Just mix it in there real good. All right. A little watery, that's all right. Keep working it. I'll put some more glue in. I definitely added too much starch, but I got carried away. Keep going. All right, we're going to work that over. How's it coming? Does it feel pretty good? Are you any more happy? Are you any more glad now?
Yes.
All right, that's awesome. Look, even our raisins are still dancing. So we got a lot going on here. All right, keep mixing that up. And as you do, I'm going to set up our final experiment, and then we'll see how that is coming. We're going to launch off some rockets to kind of conclude our time together. And what I have is it's called a film canister. Film is something we used to use to take pictures, kids, but now we use them for science or to hold quarters because we all use our phones now for pictures. For those of you who still have cameras with film, way to go. But that's what that used to hold, is film, which you could take pictures on and print up or develop. But today we're going to use these canisters to set off some rockets. And with those, I also have some effervescent tablets, kind of like Alka-Seltzer. They help with colds and other such things. Okay. And we're going to have a competition between Sharky Shark and the mad scientist to see whose rocket takes off first.
Somebody suggested a dance-off between the mad scientist and Sharky Shark.
Oh yeah, we just need to get some music on that phone, which I will do. Okay. We will end with the dance-off. He will definitely be glad to do that. All right. All right. How's that slime coming? That's pretty good. That'll dry up and it'll be, let's stretch it way up. You're getting there. That's beautiful. It'll dry and eventually make a really nice substance that will last for days if you keep it like in a Ziploc bag, okay? All right. And you can add more glue if it's too wet. All right, Sharky Shark. We got the two rockets here. We're going to add a little bit of water to each one, and then we will launch them. Okay? All right. So, Sharky Shark's rocket, come over here a little closer. Sharky Shark's rocket is going to be this one. And the mad scientist is going to be this one, okay? Does that sound good? And we're going to see which one takes off first. We'll do a countdown. Just have to add about half of the canister full of water and seal it real quick. And then flip it over. And the compression in there from the seltzer and the water will cause the pressure to launch the canister into the air. All right, here we go. There's one. All right, we know the one. Oops. Whoa! Sharkies took off. Let's see if the mad scientist will ever launch. Maybe there's too much water. Ah! That scared him. I think yours went faster. Good job, Sharky Shark. Good job. All right, even though you did nothing, that's a good job. All right, we are going to kind of wrap things up. The Bible also shares something that I think is very helpful. We could find in there just a promise that even though we may have struggles, we may have pain, we may be mad, we may be worried, we may be sad, even though we have those things. The Bible promises that though those things come, that in God, if we trust in Him and just ask God to help us and know that He's there for us, we can know that even though those things come, eventually joy, eventually gladness, eventually the things that we long for, the things that we need in life, that God is there for us and He provides for us. So the Bible tells us that even though there's pain in the night, even though there's struggle in the night, that joy comes in the morning. And we are so thankful that God can bring us joy. And God wants to share joy with us, our friends. And are you deflating? Okay, you're good? Okay, because what we're going to do here is we're going to say a prayer, then we're going to end in a dance-off. All right? But before we end, I want to ask the mad scientist, is he feeling any better now?
Sure.
That's not very convincing.
I'm feeling a lot better because God's love and because all my friends out there on Facebook.
Oh, you got friends on Facebook.
They're making me feel better.
They're making you feel better. So keep liking that page and sharing our science here. And he feels good because of God's love and his friends. And could you now say that you are also a glad scientist?
Sure, that has a nice ring to it.
All right, so I'm the glad scientist. He is the glad scientist. He's still a shark. And we are glad you tuned in. Now I'm going to get some music going. And we are going to have a dance-off. All right? I don't think that's on anymore, is it? We're going to have our dance-off because we had a suggestion. We are willing to do that. All right, what's a good dance song? What's a song you like?
I don't know. Just look up dance music.
Dance music. All right, here we go. The party mix. All right, we got some dance music. We're going to have a dance-off between the mad scientist, the glad scientist, and Sharky Shark. You guys got this? Are you ready? Huh? What do we do? All right. Show some dance moves.
Enjoy my dance music.
This is our dance moves?
Yeah.
I learned some things like what's the robot? The robot, ready? Do the robot, Sharky Shark. No? Do the running man. Let's do the running man. Do the running man. Ready, go. All right. We love you guys. Go Sharky Shark. I think you're winning. All right. Saturday Night Live. We love you guys. Stay in touch. We'll be back online sometime soon. God bless you all. Hey, come on. What else can we do? The lawnmower? Right? The shopping cart? Good. All right, we got this.